Is nobody else like scared of losing TikTok? Like, I feel like I'm over here so sad, and
they do not need to ban TikTok. I'm not even that big on her, but I need it.
And to the US government, I'm never forgiving you for this. And I'm never gonna trust you ever again because you just, like that, took away millions of people's income and livelihood.
Like, I just don't give a if China has my information. Who doesn't have my information? Who hasn't seen my left nipple? Like, if the congressmen have problems with it, then y'all get y'all's old asses off TikTok. Why do you even know what it is anyway? You're too old to be here. And we're voting you all out of house.
A few moments later.
Guys, I literally just woke up, and by my muscle memory, I clicked TikTok thinking it was still going to be banned, and it works for me. Can you guys see this? This is like a little test. Is TikTok officially back after only being banned for like 14 hours?
TikTok is back and live again in the United States. Breaking news, it's actually happening. You're not
TikTok is finally back after a long 18 hours without the app. We are back, baby. I'm ecstatic. This is the app that I got my start on. I'm really happy that it's back. The guy who initially started the ban of TikTok is the guy who saved it at midnight. The guy who initially started the ban of TikTok is the guy who saved it at midnight. The guy who initially started the ban of TikTok is the guy who saved it at midnight.
And this is where we start. Has anybody noticed, and this is a Trump tweet from 2023, March. Has anybody noticed everyone wants to go after and destroy TikTok due to China's influence in national security? When I wanted to disable TikTok 3 years ago, I was met with opposition from RINO as Democrats to everyone else. They actually went to court in an effort to stop me. Now they realize I was right, and they have changed their tune. Sadly, I've been right about everything. So what you're seeing right there is a double down last year on how he felt and what he was trying to do. So with that, you have, I don't want to say revisionist history, but people forgetting that he was with the TikTok ban for years. He was one of the first people that expressed that it should be banned. And even last year, you see he was still for it based on what you just read. But now we get to the buzzer beater moment, the 19th, and Trump pulls through, and now he gets the credit for saving the app that he wanted to take down. So that's just one thing I want to point out to you as far as like a ploy that played out to where now he gets the praise. And I'm going to tell you why this is important. It's important because this generation of people, it's a multi-generational thing. So you might as well just say the people of the country are very fucking stupid. I already knew this, and I already knew most people were drones, but this exposed the extent that it is. I just have to say, we as a people are in trouble. We as a people are in trouble. And the reason I say that is because of some of the things that I've seen. Now, a lot of these people who were reacting were not in power positions or anything like that, but these are regular people. These are the people that you see when you walk outside of your house every day, the people that you work with, the girls that you mess with, even some of the guys that you know. And when I say this, I'm talking about people from 20 to even in their 40s were going crazy. But the craziest people were in their 20s and 30s when it came to the reaction to TikTok being taken down. And the thing that I want to point out is it's mostly women. They were completely distraught. And I'm not even talking about in just the clips that you've seen. There's stuff all over the internet with women going ballistic. I mean, in statuses on Facebook, Instagram posts, Twitter posts, and all types of, they are hurt. And what this literally is, if you look at the history of social media, no social media has just been pulled from us that we absolutely were addicted to and loved and things like that. No social media was pulled from us like that. Vine was a cool app, but there was a reason Vine had to shut down. It was because they weren't making enough money. And if you're not making enough money, more than likely you're not popping enough. So we said RP Vine, we were upset and stuff like that, but it wasn't even crazy at all. Everybody accepted it and we moved on. And guess what? Instagram getting video is one of the things that killed them, because that's what Facebook does. Facebook tries to take whatever other apps are doing and integrate it into their apps as far as Instagram and Facebook. So they tried to do that with Snapchat. They couldn't get Snapchat out of here because whatever the fuck what happened with Vine, Snapchat learned from that, and they learned to stay innovative or whatever the case may be to differentiate their product from Facebook and keep their fans engaged and stuff like that. But listen, we're not getting that deep with the social media. The only thing you need to know is that when it came to TikTok, you got to understand we're in an algorithm age now, which is not what Vine was. Vine wasn't like it wasn't a sophisticated algorithm. We are deep into social media now where people understand. You could go and watch one of those social media documentaries. They got one on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it, but with the scrolling and stuff like that, they got all types of psychologists and stuff like that, et cetera, et cetera. They craft the algorithm. Now you even got AI in the mix. So they craft the algorithms in ways to keep giving you dopamine hits to keep you locked in. If you've seen what was going on, it was literally like crackhead withdrawals that these chicks was going through. So that's one of the first things. But let me get to the second thing, which is a lot of the narratives that were going around. People are saying stuff like, "Oh, why don't they ban, why don't they fix inflation and all this stuff? Why they worried about an app, but America got so many other problems and stuff like that?" I get it. Y'all are upset, but let me give you two things. The first thing is, number one, you know how fucked our government is. Let's be honest. You know what it is. So I don't have to go deep on that. But the second thing is, if you know that first part, then you know that they are doing this for some reason. And it's a reason that either benefits the government or benefits companies that lobby Congress and stuff like that, because that's how, votes get placed and things happen. You lobby. That's the way the country works. It's not a mystery. It's not a conspiracy. That is in the open. Lobbyists get policies passed. So it's similar to payola with the radio stations. And what that is when they want a song to be played quite a bit. What record labels do? They pay, the radio station to play those records. Now, payola is supposed to be illegal, but it still goes on to this day in undercover ways. So when it comes to the radio, nothing is organic. And when you look at the government, nothing is really what it seems when you talk about Congress specifically, in the House of Representatives, Senate, all that shit. Now, this is the narrative as far as why they are doing it. They are doing it, and this is the narrative that everybody is putting out on TikTok and on other platforms. They are doing it to suppress outside information. They cannot control the information that's going on TikTok like they control the information that's going on Facebook. You got to remember, they really try to put the pressure on these people as far as like Facebook, Google, Apple, and et cetera, et cetera. They had a whole deposition or whatever you want to call it, where they had Mark Zuckerberg lined up for some days at Congress. And then they did a whole panel of all the big companies, Amazon, just everybody, the FANG or whatever, Facebook, Apple, all them companies. I'm not about to get into that. So even in the Joe Rogan episode where we get radical Mark Zuckerberg. Look at him now. He's so cool. He's wearing the black tee. I don't know if I ever seen him in the black tee, but he's got the chain on. He's got the little, swaggy hair. He's been doing MMA. And now he wants to talk to you about freedom of speech and stuff like that. He's going on Joe Rogan and stuff like that. He's saying, oh yeah, they used to be trying to get at me to take down certain information like memes. And I said, I'm not taking down no memes, because this is about freedom of speech. So now he on that whole kick, because the issue with Facebook, and follow me with this, they used to ban people for everything back then. You couldn't say shit. It hit a certain point where they were banning you for anything. You're getting 30 days for anything. And they stopped that 2-3 years ago. And we just looked at that as y'all just strict as hell for no reason. And I'm talking about this was going on before COVID, and it was going on during COVID. So it was just a bad platform overall, but it was the number one platform. TikTok picks up steam, their competition, and guess what? Like I mentioned earlier, you can do a lot on there. They're a lot less strict, but it boils down to two things. Number one, when you look at X or Twitter, when it got took over by Elon Musk, the whole thing was, I'm going to create a platform where you can have free speech, free speech, free speech, free speech. So that became the mantra. So when people are talking about TikTok being taken away, they're talking about free speech all the time. That's what they keep saying and they keep leaning on, freedom of speech. But this is the other thing. TikTok is a source where they can't control the information as far as the government. And it's a global app. And that's how come people say that they hate it and stuff like that. As far as the government, they hate TikTok. So what has this led to when it comes to Radical Mark? Well, he gets on, the Joe Rogan podcast with a black t-shirt. First time we seen him wearing a chain. He got a new frizzy haircut he got from Great Clips to show that he's edgy and shit. And he goes and talks about, when they were on his ass, when the government was on his ass during COVID, how he refused to take down certain posts because he wants to let us know, no, I don't bend and fold to what they asked me to do and stuff like that. No. And then on that same podcast, he starts kicking a bunch of freedom of speech shit as well. So ultimately what's going on is he's trying to appeal to the people and to that fan base and seem like, Facebook is a platform you can now trust, which, yeah, the fuck right. Trust is earned. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is the whole, because this is one of the narratives that I've seen. This is the greatest information app ever. This is the best information app out there. Let's cut the bullshit. But let's indulge in the bullshit for a second first. So it is a good information app because they have a STEM tab. Let's start off there. None of you are clicking on that STEM tab. That's where the bullshit cuts. Partially. So we can say that it's good because they have a STEM tab and they have STEM content, but you guys are not clicking that tab. Let's be honest. Let's stop the bullshit. Let's go back to the other information. What it actually is, this is all it is, really. When we talk about information, it's two things. Number one, let's just get the simple shit out the way. You don't like going and looking for information. You don't like going to YouTube, typing in and searching stuff, and then trying to find the information you were looking for. Let me give you the real. Most people are not resourceful at all. Most people will get on the internet and ask the most basic questions like who's hiring, which I'm not mad at that because, you could network and stuff like that. And there are people who have opportunities that aren't going to be on LinkedIn and stuff like that. That's what some people don't realize. But they will go and ask, either people or they will go and ask their timeline the most trivial questions. You'll see people all the time ask very Googleable shit. So when we just start off, people aren't the most resourceful. What it is about this, as far as the second thing I was going to mention, they funnel you information that you deem as valuable. You are not going and seeking this information. You were just swiping and scrolling. So now that you get hit with some information that they have determined based on the algorithm and things that they have put in front of you, shit that you are interested in, now you are being funneled information. And the truth is, the information might not even be good. The information might not even be that valuable. It might just be some nigga in front of a camera just saying how they feel in their perspective about some shit. But this is what it really is as far as the information that they say is the best information app and you could get information from there and it's better than Google. This is what it really is. When people are saying this, they are mainly talking about information about other countries that they don't go and seek anywhere else because the same information is on YouTube. It's everywhere else. They don't go and seek this information, but it's just thrown in their face by some nigga in a Gucci suit on a boat or some shit. And the information is just about how bad our government is and how much better other countries are. And even in some cases, what's going on in some other countries. That is it. That is it. And I'm going to tell you something. People are not that concerned as far as what's going on in other countries, like the average American and the people who are complaining, because we're going to cut through the bullshit in a minute. Those people are not really concerned about what's going on in other countries. But when this TikTok ban gets started and they start kicking all these narratives, you'll see some people saying, they don't want you to know that you could pay $80 for rent in China and it's a first world country. They'll say shit like that. And even though you could access that information anywhere else, that's not information that these people would think to seek because they don't really think much at all. And that brings me to the main point. When we cut through the bullshit, the reason you were upset that TikTok is going is because you are addicted. The reason that you were upset about the ban is because you are flat out addicted to the entertainment that it gave you. The information is secondary. And even then, you aren't somebody who is seeking information. You are somebody who is just taking whatever comes in front of your face that they fucking feed you. These women who are upset get on there and watch lash tutorials. They get on there and watch comedy. They go and watch little dating commentary and stuff like that. They will watch cooking tutorials. They will go and shit on Cooking with Kaya. They will get on live and brush their hair. Some of them even get on live and play video games. Some of them get on there and just show their feet and try and get donations. And I just want to say, as far as the people who were making money and stuff like that, none of what I'm saying is about them, because if you are somebody who ends up making $5,000 a month or even up to something like $20,000 a month on TikTok and they just strip you away of that income, you should be fucked up. You should feel like this is crazy and you should be mad because they are literally taking an income source from you that has made you entrepreneurial. But the issue that I have with that is it's not like some YouTube shit to where, or some Twitch shit to where you was rocking out and everything is good. And then just out of nowhere, you get hit with some copyright strikes or a ban, or you get demonetized for some of the content you put out. And now you're caught off guard by surprise. No, y'all knew this shit was coming for a long, long time. Y'all knew this shit was coming for a long, so you had time to get prepared. So I don't feel that bad, but I do feel bad for those people. Now back to the regular people who get on there and buy fucking muscle shirts off the TikTok shop or the little foot massages or whatever the fuck you be buying off the TikTok shop. Those people are mindless sheep and they love to get the, they love to act like they are the informed, ones with the wisdom and, oh, we are thinking outside of the box because we seen some information on TikTok. All that shit is when YouTube first came out, and we talking about from 06 to like 2011-ish, and you would see documentaries like Zeitgeist going viral, little conspiracy theory joints and Illuminati joints going viral. And then those people watch that shit and, I'm sure they thought YouTube was the greatest information site back then because they seen a documentary about, government conspiracies. And now they think that they are the informed ones because they got fed. They got fed Coney 2012 or whatever it was. They got fed Coney 2012. They got some information about what's going on in the Congo, some shit that they didn't seek out, some shit that they didn't give a fuck about then, some shit that they don't give a fuck about now. But when it happened, they act like they gave a fuck. It made them feel informed. And now they feel like they are just in the know when they don't seek any knowledge. Most of these people don't seek knowledge. They didn't seek knowledge back then. They don't seek knowledge now. But when they get hit with it, they feel grateful for it. But let's stop the bullshit. You get on that app for entertainment. You don't get on that app to get educated. Most of you don't get on that app to get educated. Most of you don't get on that app to get informed. You're full of shit. And the thing is, you were mad. You were mad that your main source of entertainment that you were addicted to went away. And that's the real truth as far as what's going on. So all this information shit, that's cool. You could learn some stuff on TikTok. That's cool. But y'all are not seeking this information. The information is not that valuable to you because you're not going to seek it. It is not something that you absolutely need. You were just waiting for it to pop up on your For You page as you keep swiping. And that's it. I'm gonna leave y'all with some videos. Let me know your thoughts. I'm gone.
Has anyone else just been crying on this app all night? Because it feels like we're losing, like, a community. It feels like we're losing friends. We're losing, like, a platform where we learned so much about things we didn't know about, opportunities, places to eat, movies to watch, books to read.
Baby. You crying? She's crying because TikTok's going away, aren't you?
It's so sad.
It is.
I really didn't think I would cry.
You really what?
I didn't think I would cry.
I know.
This is sad. I'm
It's
hurt.
okay. It's okay.
No, it's
okay.
not. It's embarrassing, TikTok, that you have to delete your account. Like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really am. I've never cried on this account before. I've never cried on the LO podcast, and it's just hard for me because
Hey, just let it out.
No, it's
Just
just
let
because
it out.
60 million followers of all of our followers combined is going down the drain. Like, what? Why? Why does it have to go down the drain like that? Why are you doing this? Like, I worked so hard.
No, you
No,
didn't.
we haven't.
No,
We
you didn't.
haven't worked hard, actually.
We didn't work
but
hard at
somehow
all.
we got a lot of followers.
Zero work.
I started off 1 follower last year, and now I'm at 4 million thanks to y'all. But please, dang it, please go follow us on different accounts, because we're gonna have to transition into a different account, and I know it's hard. Trust me, I've been through this.
Are you scared to have to get a normal job?
Yeah. But like, I